Hi Aquarius, welcome to your mid-September reading. Okay, everything is starting to, well, not everything, but Jupiter and Saturn are beginning to go direct in your subconscious. So first they went all the way back before they can shoot forward, and when you go all the way back, you get into that part of the mind, that part of the house, that part of the relationship that you have been avoiding, that you put in the back of the closet, that passport you should be looking for, that piece of paper, that birth certificate, you really should know where it is, that thing that happened a year ago that you haven't talked to your significant other about, that problem from when you were a childhood that you buried somewhere so deep you didn't even know it was an issue, but now there are triggers that make sense because the work that has been done within that subconscious realm for you, Aquarius, has been brutal. Of course, you've handled it with quite a lot of skill. You've intellectualized it. You've remained fairly calm, which may not remain the case, actually, as things start to move direct, ironically, but we'll get to that. Ten of Swords, Page of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Six of Wands, and there's that subconscious movement that we are talking about. So, Ten of Swords, Page of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, all those things in the different aspects of your life that you have kept not just out of your present mind, but really pushed way back into the back of the closet, way back into the back of the mind, way back into the back of the relationship somewhere where both of you know that this is just something you don't talk about. Something deep buried in the friendship that you both know you just don't speak about. Yes, it happened, or yes, this thing exists, but we don't address it. Now, from now until about 3 weeks from now, we're getting to that last bit of gunk that you got to get all the way back in there to get to really say it's clean. Which means that that last trudge that Saturn is doing, bringing all of this to the surface, it's intense. Because when you disassociate and bury, Aquarius, you do a fine job. You do it well. So if you've had the kind of year that makes you really wonder what the hell you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. You've just been undergoing an extreme, deep clean / healing. And that's a scary thought. You know, the idea of having to scrub a wound clean before allowing it time and space to heal is tantamount to acknowledging a repressed hurt or trauma before it can have room to heal. That acknowledgement has the same charge of emotional pain that the cleansing of the wound, the salt in the wound has. Necessary, painful, and in such a sensitive part of your life, all the different aspects of your life, these things now that are coming up and wanting to be dealt with, these are the most sensitive aspects. Things that you really have done a very good job in repressing. Some of them you thought you'd never have to think about again. But here we are, and this is it. And how will you do? You will do great. Especially if you learn to lean on people a bit and trust their judgment a bit. And rest. You ever noticed what Virgos are like physically? They move around a lot, and then they sit still a lot. Movement, rest, and recovery. You've gone through so much healing that rest and recovery is really important to process it and gain insight from it. And now that you are getting to the real stuff, it ups the need for rest. Also, the overthinking is making it hard to sleep. Perhaps the amount of opportunities coming in is also just added pressure to a time where everything seems to be heightened and everything hits a little too deep. But it will pass. As Saturn goes direct, you will feel better and better and better. Not that you feel bad now, but the dread of it, of having to deal with wound after wound after wound, that will pass. And when that passes, you will feel the Six of Wands energy, the movement forward, the joy, the celebration, the success. Now the Two of Cups there, that may be confusing for some of you because it doesn't quite fit with everything else that's going on here. But to me, it makes perfect sense. Because if you apply this 12th house radical healing to a relationship, it really brings people a lot closer together. So you may find that your relationship with your significant other is just like getting more and more deep and more amazing and more serious, and you're just really loving, you know, the path that you guys are walking. So even though most of the imagery I've used is a bit negative in terms of describing what this is like, the effects, just like the healed wound that, you know, heals so beautifully, it's as if nothing ever happened. The effect is so wonderful and healthy and beautiful that it's worth risking the clean. It's worth risking the acknowledgement. It's worth turning this lamp on and looking around a bit in the dark areas of your life. And you know, when you shine that light, it's worth being brave enough to acknowledge what you see. Because when you shine the light, you know, it's not, people aren't afraid of shining the light. Everybody likes shining the light. You're afraid of what you see when you shine the light. What's been hiding there in the dark. Even if you put it there, it doesn't mean you remember. And, you know, Saturn doesn't drag you back there. Jupiter didn't drag you back there. Pluto isn't sitting back there being weird as hell just for nothing. It's because that stuff is sitting back there, unacknowledged, running your life. And although, you know, it's penned the bad guy, Saturn is always trying to get you more stable, get you more real, get you more foundationally sound. It doesn't have the same priorities as the other energies. It doesn't want good or bad for you. It wants a certain order, a certain level of sufficiency. You know, it's very Capricorn. Are you worthy of your fate, of your destiny, of your capability? Are you worthy of your capability? So it is extremely beneficial, and it is a bit of a superpower to learn to keep your eyes open as you shine the light in the dark and be able to see and process and be okay with and be brave in the face of whatever it is you see. Super, super important. And that is definitely a skill that you're building, especially in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So when you have those anxiety-filled moments where you feel like just the deepest, darkest, biggest secrets you have all of a sudden want to take center stage and want to be acknowledged and want to be dealt with and want answers, and you know, you find yourself kind of fumbling, just remember why it's happening. It will help you to remember. In the extended, we're gonna shuffle through for each one and figure out as the cards come up, like the Virgo, what's going on with each of the signs and what happens as the sun moves into Libra. But I think because this is really the overarching and heaviest energy that you'll deal with for the next 3 to 4 weeks, it's important to normalize it. It's really, you know, disruptive to have all this going on right behind you in the back brain, especially to someone who is so is so cerebral. You know, for another sign to be dealing with this, yes, it is what it is. It is disruptive. It's unsettling, but for a sign that relies on the brain, on the mind, for everything, that just ups the intensity of all of this that's going on because it's your instrument that is being cleaned. Salt in the wound. All right. Personal readings, video chat readings, instant links, Vimeo links, links to rings, links to merchandise. It's all below. Daily horoscope on Instagram. That link is below as well. The personal readings are 5 to 7 minutes. They're recorded. They're sent to your inbox. The video chat readings are 15 minutes. And they are live. The extended we're going to do now is available on Vimeo and as an instant link that is sent to your inbox. These are the Quietest Revolution rings. I think I covered it. I love you. I'll see you in the extended in just a minute.